Oh, Vansilk here. 50 years of hip hop. Uh, DJ Hollywood. Wow. Wow. Woo! We'll be here all day. Hip hop fundamentals and a place to be. Um, Rapping in your 50. Get your t shirts. Um, I knew of Hollywood before I knew anybody in hip hop. Because I was older. And to me, you had Frankie Crocker and Gary Bird and them on the radio. Then you had Hollywood playing at the clubs. Charles Gallery, Richard Hott was there. You know, you had a bunch of grapes, you know, young DJ, 18, 19 years old, moving around. Oh, this dude was definitely a different type of breed of a DJ, because you had the Grandmaster Flowers and the Master D's and you know, the Von K's and the Disco Twins and the Cypher Sounds and the Terry Moores and them and, you know, the Infinity Machine. But then you had the hip hop DJs later on. But Hollywood was a special DJ because he talked on the microphone and he played the music. And he had an understanding for the music. And you know, like some of the early MCs, had the Hollywood style of his style from the rapping side, not the MC side. So like a little early on, you know, Curtis Blow and the Cool Cow, you know, even Hank, Big Bad Hank and them sounded like Hollywood. If you go back and listen to the record Donald D, the late Donald D from the Sci-Fi crew made Donald's Groove, he basically emulated Hollywood and Donald's Groove. And the backup singers were the third version of the Mercedes Ladies. But getting back to Hollywood, he set the tone for a lot of things. Coming from Harlem, you know, especially when he got to Club 371 in 76 with the 10 Good Guys, and you had Junebug there, you had Eddie Cheever. I mean, like, Hollywood was a special person to music. To music. You know, you had the people like the Matt Turners and the Guy Fishers and the Bat Rosses and, you know, all the plays, the Nicky Barnes and all of them, Executive Playhouse. I mean, just the places that Hollywood will play. Sometimes he'll play 2 and 3 places in one night in different boroughs. And he just had a flow with the music. He played his music well. And, you know, I would say Lovebug Starsky was more of an understudy to Hollywood. And Lovebug Starsky was the transition between the disco side of rapping and then Lovebug Starsky was younger into the hip hop side. Because that's why them two were like Alvin and Costello. They was like the best of friends to the day Starsky died. You know, no matter what Starsky say, fuck you, Hollywood, and Hollywood would say, fuck you, Lovebug. And listen, I'm in the middle. Lovebug will call, fuck you, RC, and Hollywood, fuck you, Vansilk. You know, it is what it is. Still love them all. But you cannot take any credit from Hollywood for being the first DJ in Apollo with the turntables. You know, just like how Grandmaster Flowers was the DJ that played for James Brown at Yankee Stadium. And, you know, Hollywood is just got his own singing from the Oon-Tang, and whatever he put together, that's Hollywood style of his rapping. Totally different from the MCs of the Melly Mel's and the Funky Fours and the Shy Rock. Totally different. But eventually, as time started to change, he did flip over onto doing shows on the hip hop side. But if you was a promoter, you wanted Hollywood on your show. He ain't gonna be there all night. He was a special guest because if he in one spot, he gonna go to Queens. After that, he going to Brooklyn. I mean, he opened a lot of doors for a lot of other DJs. You know, he had the Hollywood Dancers, the Hollywood Angels. You know, it's like you knew what Hollywood was going to do when he got to his performance on the turntable of what he was reciting and the crowds responding back. And you got to understand, to be a real Hollywood fan, you would have to be at least 66 years old. And when he was younger, playing for the older people, they're about 80, 85 right now. So for him to be around that long, it's a great thing. And everybody needs to acknowledge him one way or the other. I don't care what he has said in interviews. because people are poor. He said this and he said that. I don't care about none of that, because I always defended the DJs. You didn't have to be a hip hop DJ. I always defended the DJs. I mean, in every interview in books, I talk about Reggie Wells, Eddie Cheever, Brothers Disco, Breakout Baron. I mean, I talk about Kool Herc. I talk about Theodore. I talk about Flash. I talk about Boy, the Disco Twin. I talk about the guys in Queens, you know, from everything from King Charles on down. I give props to everybody. It ain't about Brooklyn versus Bronx. It ain't about none of that. But Hollywood is still working today. He's sitting down, but the man know the music. And I look at a lot of the mixtape DJs, the Kid Capri's, and all of them. They more copy the Hollywood style. You copy the Hollywood playlist of how you play a certain record, and how you play Before I Let Go, and how the record is played, and how you get in and out the record, and how you go into the next record, or Got to Be Real. Man, Hollywood set that trend. Now, he wasn't a barker on the microphone. And to all you people out there, throw your hands in there. Then Hollywood didn't do that. That's what the newer DJs, you know, the Kid Capri's and the Chubby Chubs and the Ron G's and all of them do. Hollywood had just a grown folks flow in what he do. And a lot of those DJs copied it. The younger ones copied it because he made it comfortable for DJs to talk on the turntables while you play and entertain at the same time. And a lot of DJs can't do that. Just like a lot of DJs can't cut and scratch. A lot of DJs know how to blend. Some DJs don't know how to blend. Some DJs just know how to play records, and some DJs don't know how to play records. They just know how to good talent, good. No, that's not DJing. That's a whole element on being on the turntables. But what I got to say about DJ Hollywood, he needs to get his accolades. I don't call it flowers. He needs to be recognized for his contribution to music, for his role in opening up the doors to a lot of things leading up into hip hop. Because he wasn't a b-boy, you know. He was already in 1978. What was he? 26, 25, 24. Like, you know, I was 20 years old. I wasn't no b-boy in 78. I wasn't gonna break dance. I wasn't gonna mess up my AJ Lesters or my Playboy shoes. I wasn't gonna do none of that. Nah. You know, I ain't wear no fat Pumas and laces. So, you know, it's different generations. But when I look at Hollywood today, and he played for me at Club Miss for the 46th anniversary of hip hop, I had him, Reggie Wells, Eddie Cheever, got on the mic, Red Alert. That was the first time them four was together in like 40 years on one flyer. MC Shan and friends. You know, we had Rockmaster Scott, Dynamics 3 there. You know, everybody came out to the Club Miss before COVID happened. And I got a piece of the video of Hollywood on the turntables there. I got a little piece with him and Love Buck Starsky. So when you go back and look at the legacy of Hollywood, you cannot challenge Hollywood legacy at all and what he has done. Now, what he have said in the interview, that's his opinion of how he feel. And everybody have an opinion. But when it comes to this hip hop right here, that's the first brother I knew, and I'm always going to give love and have love for that brother. So to my man, DJ Hollywood, I always love you, my brother, and I hope I get to see you again after I get over this health crisis of cancer. The reason why I have on the mask, because my skin is getting messed up and it's changing colors, so I'm wearing a mask. So this is your brother Vansilk, a.k.a. Ralph Barella. What's up, Junior videographer? What's going on?
Nothing.
So now you found out who DJ Hollywood is now, huh?